insightful things that were owned by James Marshall himself, personal effects. One of his is his Bible, but to me, what really kind of sets him out special is this little toy wagon that he built for a little neighbor girl in Kelsey called Miss Margaret Kelly. And she was kind of the little granddaughter or the daughter that he never had. In his later life, dignitaries down in Sacramento wanted to have him come down for some meeting or some gala event because he was the father of the gold rush. He wasn't too pleased with doing that, but he would agree to do that if Miss Margaret Kelly and a friend could accompany him. So he would take the little girl and her friend with him on these little gala events, because otherwise he was just bored to tears apparently, and not really excited about it. Another cool thing that he had at the time of his death was these two tools, the cordless drill press and a forge blower. And while lots of people say what a downer life James Marshall had, didn't get anything out of the gold rush, died drunk and poor, I don't believe he was a total waste, because I think what he loved the most about his life is creating things. He was a very talented engineer, and he was doing that up until the end. And he was fondly remembered by Miss Kelly enough that she collected a lot of these items of his and had a private museum in the 1920s right there in Kelsey. And thanks to her collecting those and keeping those mementos, we have a little something more of that man today. World War I. So this is depicting a lot of styles militarily. We have textile experts who go through the collections that have been donated, and they can pull from those and carefully mark down where they came from, who was the individual who wore this at the time that they're going for. In this case, 1918. Lots of good stories on this. The one white blouse here became known as the armistice blouse. Armistice time, the end of World War I. One of the dignitaries, I think it was president's wives of some sort, was wearing that at a peace signing, and it became known as the armistice blouse. Bottom of the Red Cross is spearing up. It's another way that women can get out there and use their education or become more educated and help people. Wool is the name of the game for everything military.
I'm Heather Burnett, 6 generations Placerville. My family were the Morey family, M-O-R-E-Y. We had a foundry on Lower Main Street, the Placerville Foundry or the Morey Foundry. We also did all the marching bands in town, so we had the Morey Marching Band. We did help bring the railroad connection into Placerville, so we had communication with Mr. Stanford Crocker Huntington of Hopkins, as my great-great-grandfather was one of the early city fathers here, part of the committee, to have that little spur of the Southern Pacific meet here in Placerville. So we've been involved in the community for many, many years. Certainly in terms of music, all the dance band music, all the recorded 78s we did, and the initiations, dedications, and parades.
So the doll collection is part of Stella Tracy's beautiful Jumeau, Bebe, and German dolls. They are here at the museum. When she passed, because they had no children, they donated their artifacts to our historical society. They provided shoes for all the whole community down where the Heyday restaurant is now, and they had provided work boots, all the work boots, loggers boots, an example of some of her shoes and her shoe fixture here. Women before 1900 bought 2 of just the same shoe. They didn't have a left or a right shoe. So those are an example of a pair from France there, but these are some from the Tracy shoe store right on Main Street, where the Heyday restaurant is now. Primarily, Stella Tracy sold only white shoes to women, for the reason that when you're walking through all the mud and the horse stuff, you had to keep buying new white shoes from Stella Tracy with handmade things, baby clothes, layettes. All girls did crochet and embroidery in the early days. You added the pretty to a somewhat basic type of garment. This is a true christening gown here, and this one again has the full-length slit. Mama had a long dress, so in the pictures they wanted the infant to have the long dress as well. And then this is worn by both boys and girls. This is pioneer dresses. Many of these came over on the wagons here on the wall, so they are very old. A little 8-year-old did this embroidery here on this little mini sampler quilt, little Jack and Jill. And then we have things that are just, again, examples of little handiwork. Kids from earlier years. This is a little later date, 20s and 30s, showing needlecraft and
once it's already down,
many examples of that. Just one of the examples of that. I don't know if that's if we can focus in on some of the detail of just a basic little day dress. Fine cotton batiste. And then, of course, some of the little fine silk pieces and little pieces from the baby shower, the layettes that were done, that were done in by all the grandmas, the sisters, the aunties, the mamas, for the new baby. Over here is a gorgeous silk charmeuse dress from a local family, a 1918 era, very Downton Abbey inspired. And then we have Bert Kambelic. He was the grandpa for the original girls that are at the Kambelic store now. And this is his 1918 wedding tuxedo that you see on the mannequin from that picture. This bed is 1870s from Bruner's, but we're showcasing the handiwork, so that is a crocheted coverlet on that bed, all hand done. And then around here is the tail end of our exhibit for the 100th anniversary of the ending of World War I. And so these are 1918 era garments. There's a duster coat when the first Model Ts came into town. And you'd wear that over your fine clothes because the windows of the Model Ts wouldn't roll up and you got full of dirt. That's a particularly beautiful one out of linen. We have a silk traveling suit here. We have a picture of the armistice blouse in the back, and that is was influenced by Mrs. Woodrow Wilson, who wore a collar like that when they signed the treaty to end World War I, so that that became an item that you could buy at the Sears Roebuck catalog, the armistice blouse. Fur was part of the fashion scene 100 years ago in 1918. All hand crochet coverlet and the blouse here. And this is an opera coat that you see at the very end from a woman of means here in town, a possible influence. We wear that to San Francisco, probably stay a week when we went there. All hand done by local dressmakers, all these garments. The nouveau riche were putting those in their lobbies and their parlors. The New York manufacturer sent them around the Horn, and they were quite prominent here in California. But they kept falling out of tune all the time, unlike a nice Steinway. There's an old gramophone. That one uses wax cylinders for music, recorded music.